Everyone, this is Dan here again from CoinCrunch, and today we're going to be looking at three exchange coins. Those are the Binance coin, BNB, KuCoin shares, KCS, and a newer one called the Bibox token or BIX. Now, before we begin, I just want to say this is not financial advice. As always, I encourage you to do your own research. And if you are enjoying these videos that we're putting out, please check out the link in the description below and sign up for our newsletter where we share sort of all the research that we're finding on all these new tokens. You can also hit subscribe and stay up to date with all the latest videos that we put out on YouTube. So what are the exchange tokens, so to speak? Well, these are tokens that are coming out as part of newer, what look to be Chinese exchanges. And it appears that the exchanges are being launched, and as part of the launch, they are doing their own ICO. So they're doing an ICO the same way that any token or any company would do an ICO, and they're trying to incentivize people to use their particular tokens. So with a lot of the huge influx in November and December of signups to particular exchanges, we saw exchanges like Binance and Bittrex close down. And what that did is it sort of pushed a lot of the activity to smaller, newer exchanges. For example, one of those exchanges is KuCoin, which seems to be doing a great job of adding new coins and managing the load of a lot of transaction volume and a lot of new users, particularly for a newer exchange. Now, I've spent the last maybe 3 or 4 hours reading everything I could about KuCoin shares and Bibox token and the Binance token, and I want to just mostly focus on one today, which is the Bibox token, but they're all sort of related to each other, and that's what I'm going to cover in this video here. So how exactly does the Bibox token work? Well, let's look over at Bibox token here. Bibox is actually a newer exchange, it's a Chinese exchange, and it has a small volume, but it looks very similar to KuCoin in structure, almost identical in layout and design. So very, very similar. And the token is BIX. So we go over here to the BIX token. We can actually see it's listed on CoinMarketCap. It was hit the exchange, the Bibox exchange, very, very recently, just around Christmas, and has already done pretty well since. It was at about 50 cents and sort of hit $3 and is hovering around $2.50 now. So it's done a quick 5x in a couple of weeks. And this token works almost identically, the BIX token works almost identically to the Binance token. And Binance is a much more popular exchange, it's been around for longer. So let's take a look at this to get a feel for how this works. As we can also see, this one has performed incredibly well, hit exchanges at 10 cents and is now sort of around $20. It's dropped off a little bit recently, but it's hovering around $20. And the way these tokens work is if you own Binance coin, BNB, then you can pay your trading fees with Binance coin as opposed to paying it with by subtracting the coin that you're trying to trade. So let's say, for example, you want to, let's find the calculator here. If you want to trade one Bitcoin, which is about $15,000, let's just say, the Binance, not $150,000, we'll get there eventually. The fees on Binance for this particular coin or for trading in general, are 0.1%. So if you want to trade one Bitcoin, you would pay that much in fees. So that would be, times 0.00. So a tenth of 1% would be this. So you pay $15 in fees, which is actually quite a lot. Now, if you hold Binance Coin, you pay half that. So let's say, Binance Coin is worth $15. You would only pay one half. Let's see, you would pay half a Binance Coin because you're paying half the price that you would have paid. So you only end up paying $7.50 paid for in Binance Coin. And that way, that if you hold a lot of Binance Coin, you essentially are paying half the transaction fee of all the volume you're doing. So this is really attractive for anybody that is doing a lot of trading on Binance. And you can imagine if you're doing millions of dollars a day, then owning a lot of Binance Coin is really going to help you lower those transaction fees. The other nice thing about it is as more people come onto the exchange and more people want to lower their transaction fees, it drives demand for the coin because there's a limited number of coins. So more and more people want to get their hands on the coin so that they do pay lower transaction fees, and therefore that drives up the price of the coin. So if you have one Binance coin that's worth $15, and that appreciates to $30, well, you're now paying just a quarter of that to cover that Bitcoin trade that we discussed earlier. KuCoin shares work a little bit differently. The way KuCoin shares work, let's pull up an explanation here. Okay, this is a really helpful site that a Redditor created. It's called KuCoinshares.com, and it's pretty simple. It basically calculates how much money you're going to make from KuCoin shares. So like Binance Coin, KuCoin shares are trading right about under $20 right now, about $17, so almost identical. And KuCoin shares are actually a little bit more interesting. So the way they work is if you own KuCoin shares, there's a set number of KuCoin shares. Then based on how many shares you own, you get a percentage of all trading fees that happen on the platform each day. So that means that, and it's 50%, that's how much you get. So let's just say, it's the total supply and the circulating supply, they're between around 100 to 200 million. Let's just say for the sake of simplicity, there's 100 million KuCoin shares. Now, if there's, and you own, let's say, 1 million, well, that's 1% of the total amount of shares. So you get half, so of all the trading volume that happens on the exchange, you get half of that 1%. So you get 0.5%. And the way that you get that distributed is in the coins themselves. So that means that if there's $10 million of Bitcoin trading, and you get half of all the Bitcoin fees, you get 0.5% of all the Bitcoin fees because you own 1%. So you get half of that 1%, and you get that half of 1% in Bitcoin. So as you own Bitcoin, KuCoin shares, what you'll see is the balances of all the trading coins on the KuCoin exchange will go up. You'll start to see, your OMG holdings go up, your NEO holdings go up, your Red Pulse holdings go up. So you're literally accumulating all of those coins at once. And pretty simple explanation there. What's interesting there is KuCoin has been growing very, very quickly. So there's a lot of potential here. I think this comment really, this is just very recently on the KuCoin thread, but he points out that many people buy the shares valuing it in terms of the current dividends they would get without considering the future. So let's say that you are getting $5 a day from your KuCoin shares, but if KuCoin grows to 10x trading volume, in over a year, you're now going to be earning $50 a day, which is a fair bit of passive income. You're talking about $1,500 a month completely passively. But the thing is, you're not just getting that money back in KuCoin shares, you're getting it in those other coins. So we all know that a lot of these coins, especially on newer exchanges like KuCoin, have the potential to 2, 3, 5, 10, or even 100x over the course of the year, maybe even more. So now you're talking your $5 a day, assuming cumulative 10x gain in all the coins, is $50 a day. But what if the value of the coins rises 10x or more over the course of the year? Now you're talking about $500 a day. And as this goes, that's not to mention the value of as people see this, the KuCoin shares value is going to go up as more people want the coin to get those dividends. So this is a really, really nice way to sort of DIY some passive income from an exchange. And as we can see from the growth of the volume in KuCoin, they're doing a really good job of scaling their exchange. And they have a very sort of popular and aggressive affiliate program that's bringing on a lot of new signups. So the exchange is growing very quickly, and this could be a good way to make a lot of passive income. And sort of also in a way, when you're getting small distributions of all these coins, it sort of absolves you from the FOMO of worrying about which one is best. You're sort of accumulating them all over time, and the value of your shares are going up as well as more people want them. So it's a very attractive investment. Bibox, as I mentioned, works almost identically to the Binance coin. There's not a lot of information out there about how it works. I had to do a bit of digging to figure this out, but it does appear to work the same way as the Binance coin. So if you own a Bibox token, essentially the way it's going to work, if you own BIX, then you can pay half of your Bibox trading fee in BIX. You only pay half the fee if you pay it in BIX rather than paying it outright in the coin that you're trying to exchange, such as Bitcoin. Now, the nice thing about Binance coin and Bibox tokens is that it's an option that you can turn on and off. So if you don't want to use the coin anymore, you just want to hold it, you want to see if it appreciates, or you just want to forget about that option altogether, you can switch that option off and go back to paying the fee as you normally would. And you can turn it back on whenever you want. So it's a pretty cool option to have. And what makes Bibox an attractive investment right now is that it looks undervalued relative to these other tokens. So we've seen how well Binance has done. And Bibox, being a new exchange, is starting to add lots of new tokens, lots of exciting new projects, which we've sort of discussed in previous videos. One video that we just mentioned in terms of a Bibox coin, a Bibox only coin, was the HPB or high performance blockchain. And I'll link to that in the description below, which is a super cool, exciting new project with a lot of potential. But it's projects like that, sort of like big potential under the radar Chinese projects that are getting on Bibox first and driving a lot of new signups. So as we see with a lot of times with a particular group of coins, say like privacy coins or DAG protocol coins or decentralized exchange protocol coins like ZRX and Loopring, when the group of coins starts to perform a certain way, the other coins in that group tend to perform a certain way. So as BNB has done pretty well, made it to about $20, $17 to $20. And as KuCoin shares has made it to about $17 to $20, and both of them look to continue to grow. A lot of crypto analysts in forums and on Twitter are predicting that this one is going to perform very similarly. And I picked up a bit of Bibox tokens on Bibox, and I'm definitely excited to track the progress of this token over the next month. And I think it'll do very well. But as always, please, do your own research. We're not suggesting that you buy this. This is just our opinion and what we like to invest in here at CoinCrunch. So again, if you like these tips, please hit subscribe and sign up to our newsletter. And again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy these videos.